So I thought that I might do a quick, it's really loud, let's close the door. A quick little video on why I did a liver cleanse. So this is just my personal experience, not meant to be a doctor's opinion or anything, just telling you why I did it and what I experienced. I had wanted to do a liver cleanse for a really long time. My dad had done one when I was younger and I watched it in horror, like, what if I have to do that kind of thing when I'm an adult? But I had it in the back of my mind that was like, we live in a, just in a time when there's lots of toxins all around us in the air, in things we eat, everywhere. So I figured over a lifetime, they can probably build up and it would be good to do some kind of cleanse. I didn't have a specific one in mind. I knew there was different kinds, but I just kind of knew that I wanted to do one if I got brave enough and had the chance. So a friend kind of got me into this because she had been told by another friend who did it right before pregnancy that it had made the pregnancy so much easier. She said that if she could go back and tell her younger self anything, she would tell herself to do a liver cleanse between each pregnancy. So I was like, oh, that's appealing to me because I would love to have more kids, and goodness knows easier pregnancies are something that would be worth sacrificing for. So I was like, this is good. I'll have a cleanse buddy and we can do this together. It didn't end up working out because I got bit by a tick and got Lyme's disease right before we were going to do the cleanse. So I got put on some antibiotics and lost the chance to do it with a buddy, but still decided to do it once I felt like my body was recovered from all of that. And I'm glad I did, because when I did the first liver cleanse, I definitely felt the antibiotics flushing back into my system. So I was like, I'm glad that something is helping to just get these all flushed out of my liver and wherever else they're still hiding. So the first liver cleanse that I did not pass any stones like they say that you're supposed to. Like, you do about a week of eating really clean, almost a vegetarian diet, but I definitely added meat because I can't do that. So I just tried to eat really clean, no sugar, not a whole lot of dairy or carbs, but mainly a lot of fruit and vegetables and some protein, that kind of thing. Did that for a week, and it was a kit that I got from globalhealing.com, and they had like herbs in it. So I would 3 times a day, I'm taking their tinctures and herbs that are supposed to be going in there and supporting liver function and helping to loosen stuff up that's in there. And then on the last day, you do a time of fasting on the 6th day, I think. And after you've been fasting for a certain period of time, a few hours, they have you start drinking Epsom salt in water, and then you take grapefruit juice and shake it together with olive oil and drink that. Then you're supposed to lay down and go to sleep. And the next day, TMI, you have like the squirts and you're passing stones like that. The olive oil and Epsom salt is supposed to get the stones now that have been loosened up to come out. So I did that, and I definitely, the first few days of the cleanse, I felt awful. It was almost like sugar withdrawal, and I had a headache, and I was getting really frustrated with my kids because apparently the liver is the center of emotion as far as your organs are concerned. And if you stuff a lot of your emotions, which I have done kind of my whole life, confession time, it will actually affect you physically, like even in your liver. And it's fairly common, if you've been a stuffer, that when you start cleansing out your liver, you'll actually kind of get a release of the emotions that you have been penting up. So I was actually experiencing a lot of anger and just discouragement and depression, like, where's this even coming from? And now it kind of makes more sense looking back on it. But after about 2 or 3 days of that, all of a sudden it's like it kind of got through my system, and I just felt amazing. I had so much more energy. That's probably the thing I hear most from people that do liver cleanses, is how good they feel afterwards, as far as having energy, just like a clear head and energy. That was one of the main reasons I wanted to do it too. So that first cleanse, I did not pass any stones. Not that I saw anyways. I contacted Global Healing's customer service, and they said that every person responds to it a little bit differently. So that's fairly normal. And they said that the herbs I was taking could actually even liquefy the stones, so I could have been passing stones without seeing real stones. So I was like, okay. Then a friend of mine who had just done a liver cleanse, and she's a researcher, like she was watching videos and learning all this stuff, and she sent one to me from Dr. Andreas Moritz, and he wrote the book The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Cleanse. He came up with this method because he had gallstone attacks and managed to successfully flush all the stones out using the method he came up with, and has led literally millions of people through cleansing their liver and gallbladder. And obviously he's written a book on it. He seems an authority on the subject, but one of the things that he said in the video I was watching was that if you're going to do a liver cleanse at all, you should do multiple. You shouldn't even do it if you're only going to do one. I was like, oh man, I went through all of this and I need to do it again. But he had sound reasoning behind it. He said if you signal your body to start releasing stones, and it does, you get to a place then where you've done the flush, you've gotten the stones out, but your body is still like, let's keep getting rid of toxins, so it keeps trying to release stones, and they can get stuck, or you can end up with a blockage that's not great. So he's like, it's a good idea to do at least 2 or 3, and he was saying it's actually best to just keep about every 6 weeks, keep doing a liver cleanse and a flush until you get to the place that there's no more stones coming out. He said for some people that's maybe like 6, 8 flushes. For other people it may take 20. So I was like, I don't know that I'm that motivated, but it would probably be good to do at least one more. So about 6 weeks later, I did do another one, and this time I followed his method. I just got some stuff off of Amazon and the local health food store, and it was the same thing, like a diet for 6 days of just really clean eating so that your body's in a good place to cleanse. And you can either take a quart of apple juice every day or 8 ounces of sour cherry juice, or like half a teaspoon of malic acid. So I chose the sour cherry juice. I actually thought it tasted good. It wasn't bad at all. It was just 8 ounces a day, and I would just sip it throughout the day. And after you do that for 6 days, it's supposed to loosen up the stones, and then he has you drink Epsom salt with water 4 times. And that's my least favorite part. I could barely gag it down. So I was like, you know what? I'll do Epsom salt with water for the first 2. And then the next 2 times I'm supposed to do it, I will just get Epsom salt in pills. And that worked great. It worked great for me because I was done gagging down salt water. So this time I was very, very careful to follow the timelines, because I found out later too that it's very specific. Like when they say stop eating at this time and then take your Epsom salt water at this time, not 10 minutes later, at this time, and then take the next Epsom salt drink here, and then 1 hour later take your oil and then lay down right away. Like when they say it, they mean that bang, 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 bang. You do it exactly on time. And it's pretty important because that'll make a difference with your results. So when I followed that really strictly, I passed lots of stones. And I probably would have done a follow-up cleanse after that, but I got pregnant. So not going to do a cleanse while I'm pregnant. I wouldn't do it while I'm nursing either. So it'll be a while till I do another cleanse. But I would have to say I'm just getting out of my first trimester now. And other than about 4 weeks where I felt a little bit nauseous, I have felt amazing. I don't know if the liver cleanse had anything to do with that, but I have been amazed that I've been able to keep up as well as I have with 2 toddlers and a pregnancy. So I'm grateful for that. One thing that I wanted to address is when I started telling people I did a liver cleanse, I got a certain amount of pushback. Most people were curious or supportive, but a few people showed me articles from like Mayo Clinic. Mayo Clinic had done, I guess, a study saying that the stones that are passed, basically the whole thing is a hoax, that there really isn't such a thing as cleansing your liver and getting stones out, but that the stones that are being passed are just a mixture of the oil and the salt that you're taking. So I looked into that. I have a personal friend whose doctor was pretty skeptical that what she was passing was stones. So she took the stones in for him to have them tested, and they were gallstones. So the doctor himself sent them in to get tested, and they were gallstones. And I've heard of other people doing the same thing. The other problem I have with this theory of the whole thing, being a hoax and it's just oil and salt that you're passing, is the fact that when people do multiple cleanses in a row, they more and more get to a place where they're not passing stones. They're still drinking the oil and the salt, but they're not passing stones. So yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Of course, if everyone just kind of has to take, there's so many opinions out there, you just kind of have to take what you feel is right and go with it. Me personally, it didn't quite click with me that the whole thing was a hoax, because I've heard of too many people getting healed, getting their liver cleansed out, and feeling great afterwards, definitely feeling a difference in their body. And I guess it just makes sense to me that God would make the body to heal itself, and that if there's lots of yucky stuff going into the body, and an organ like the liver is kind of overworked trying to get everything cleansed out, it's almost just, it's getting blocked up. And that if you can do something a little bit intensive to go in and begin to undo the damage that's been done over a long period of time and do those cleanses, you can get to a place where your body starts to flow and function better. And that's what people are experiencing, is that feeling of their body being able to function better. Your liver is your largest internal organ, I believe. It is the size of a football, about 3 pounds. I think it's along your left side down here, I think. Now I'm going to show how little I know, but it has over 500 jobs to do in the body. Obviously cleansing out your blood of impurities, and it's just, there are so many different things that depend on the liver doing its job for them to be able to do their job, including hormones, digestion, so many of those things. So it just makes sense that if you can clean that organ out and get it running smoothly, there's so many other things in your system that have a chance to run more smoothly too. So yeah, there's risk in anything. I've also had some people tell me that when they went through the cleanse, they ended up passing a big stone that got stuck, and then they'd have to have surgery, and that sounds horrible. Like, oh my goodness. So that's one thing that would cause me to caution people. People saying that they got so sick when they tried to do it, when their body was trying to cleanse itself. There was so many toxins in their body that it's almost like it just overwhelmed them, and they started getting sick or vomiting and couldn't really get through it. So if you feel like there's a lot of buildup in your body, really might not be a bad idea to do an extended time of eating clean, or taking herbs for your liver and that kind of thing, to kind of prepare your body and give it a chance to slowly detox before you do something major. I would be really, really interested to know if the people that had a lot of trouble, if they very strictly followed the 6 days of making sure that they got malic acid. Because from what I understand, or what I remember Dr. Andreas saying, is that 6 days, he doesn't want anyone to do less than 6 days. It's like at least 6 days of taking that malic acid every day throughout the day. That will soften up the stones. So now you've gotten to the place where the stones are totally soft. Then you're taking the Epsom salt, which will dilate the ducts that the stones need to pass through. And the olive oil will actually lube those ducts then. So at that place, you've got something that's easily stretchable, it's greased up, and what's passing through it is soft. So even if you pass a big stone, you really shouldn't have a problem. I can't say that for sure, but that's just what I understand. That's why he set it up that way, was so that people wouldn't have problems with blockages and stuff. He also highly recommends enemas before and after you do like the flush day. And I was not brave enough to do that, but it definitely could have been beneficial for me. I was a little bit blocked up and it was hard for me to pass the stones. Maybe in the future I'll get brave enough for that. But there's just things like that you can do to help your body properly and safely pass things through. I looked up symptoms of whether you need a liver cleanse, because that's a common question that people were asking me. How do I know if I need a liver cleanse? And I did not come up with a good answer. Apparently it's fairly asymptomatic unless you have, drastic problems to the point that you're having gallbladder attacks. It's kind of asymptomatic. If you have blood issues, you can be pretty sure that there's stuff going on with the liver, because the liver is supposed to be cleansing out the blood. If you have really bad, like chronic joint issues, that can be a sign. It's kind of like a secondary problem, again, caused by the liver not being able to function well. He mentioned hair loss on the top of the head. Liver spots on the face, or like age spots, especially around, he said this is the gallbladder area of the face, and this is the liver area. So if you have like age spots in that area, then that definitely indicates problems in the liver. And if you're dealing with digestive or metabolic problems, that often has something to do with the liver not functioning correctly. So yeah, I came out on it that I figured I probably needed it, just because, like I said, of the society we live in, with all the toxins around us. I was like, you know what? I am sure over a lifetime I have eaten enough junk and, you know, put enough medications and stuff in my body that it would just do my body good to be cleansed. So that's what I went with, and I definitely saw the results of that. And it really made a believer out of me. So yeah, that was my experience. I will probably add some clips in here of when I was drinking the Epsom salt water and doing the olive oil and grapefruit mixture, just for your general amusement and maybe to scare you away from doing a liver cleanse. Just kidding. It is a little intense to do that, but you know what? It's worth it. In my mind, it's worth it for the results. It's one of those things you can take a week out of your life, or 2 weeks if you decide to do another liver cleanse, to really invest in your body and invest in your future and invest in having a good quality of life, especially if you're in a stage like me where you're trying to chase after kids or really busy at work or whatever, and you want more energy, you want a clearer head, you want to know that that your body isn't struggling with a buildup of toxins. So yeah, I would encourage most people, if you feel comfortable with it and you feel like your body's in a good place, to go ahead and try one, and to do it the right way, follow the instructions. But I would definitely be pro liver cleanse. And I will put links in the description to the 2 different liver cleanses that I did, in case you want to check them out. The kit from Global Healing, and then also the chapter from Dr. Andreas's book. You can look at it as a PDF, and it has full detailed instructions about how you can do his cleanse. So yeah, I hope you find that helpful. I'm going to video this for posterity's sake. I have a glass of warm water. Take the Epsom salt. Yummy! I get to drink this. Here goes nothing. And this is the easy part. Yeah. I was gonna chug the whole thing and just get it over with, but I don't know about that. Yeah, that's a look of deep sympathy, and I deserve it.
Sorry.
Maybe I should try a straw. No, that didn't help.
Is it that bad?
It's really bad. It's lukewarm and it's full of salt. It's so bad. I can do this. Look, it's just water. Not even that big of a deal. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of this glass. I have to get it in my stomach. I'm just going to take a break because I can't. He doesn't think it's bad. I told him to taste some so that he could feel my pain. And he's just like, sip, not so bad.
It literally tastes like water. Maybe there's a little bit of a difference, but...
Is this because I'm a woman? Is it because it's warm?
Am I going to poop like crazy now?
We don't use the P word on social media.
Okie dokie.
I'm not gonna make you watch me. I'll just tell you that I got through it. Okay, it's time for the rest of this. Olive oil. They claim if you chill the olive oil, it makes it more palatable. I don't know about that. Just 2 hours later now. The kids are in bed, so it will be quieter this time. Oh, you guys, that's so much olive oil. When I'm done with this, I am supposed to lay on my side in a fetal position, not kidding, for 30 minutes on my right side specifically, so that it like flows down to where it's supposed to go. Like that's a lot. I actually did not realize until this very moment how much that is. So they say this is the hardest part of the cleanse. And look at how much olive oil that is.
Wow, is that all olive oil?
Yeah, well, no, there's 4 ounces of grapefruit juice in there too. But, are you impressed? A little bit scared for me?
I'm scared for you. That is gonna lube you.
You have no idea.
It's gonna just...
Okay, let's not talk about what it's actually going to do. I don't want to think about that yet.
Blow holes in the pot.
There's my politically correct husband. My friend told me I should try to drink through a straw and put it in the back of my throat.
Let's get this party started.
And how about you get a straw and help me? Initial thoughts was that this is not as bad as the Epsom salt, because I couldn't stand the warm salts.
The Epsom salt wasn't even bad.
Oh my goodness, I don't want to hit you. You wouldn't even have trouble with this cleanse, would you? Get your cocky little face over here. It's going down
I
my
would have a
throat.
problem with that. Like that would...
It's easy for me, huh?
Oh, wow.
I shouldn't say that. I mean, I'm only like a quarter of the way through.
Let's see it.
You are not the right person to have around while doing this. Someday you're going to do one of these with me, hon. Are you excited?
Can't wait.
Oh my goodness.
Go, babe, go. Go, babe, go.
Oh, I'm burping. That's so unladylike. But look, I'm almost done. Wow. Now we will see what it is like to sleep on this stuff and wake up tomorrow morning ready to be cleansed. See this? I'm breaking out, and I haven't broken out in a long time. So I'm taking it that means that the week of pre-stuff was good. I was also getting headaches, which are not normal for me, and feeling very lethargic and getting moody. Hoping that means that there's lots of stuff in my body that's getting all loosened up and will get out, and then I will just feel amazing. Though I've heard you're supposed to do multiple of these in a row, and I'm just like, am I brave enough? Am I? You tell me. So there you have it. If you have thoughts or comments or cautions or whatever, feel free to comment them below. I think it's good for people to see good conversation and different opinions. So by all means, let me know what you think.